Thank you for joining us today. It is Monday, July 6th. I'm Joe Morano, Jennifer Abreu with the morning off. Hopefully everyone at home is recovering and adjusting and getting back to normal after a good weekend where you got to celebrate and be a little bit safe. Meteorologist Elisa Rapid joins us this morning as well. Not too bad out there weather-wise for the fireworks this weekend.
No, not at all. And we only had some isolated showers and storms at the pool. I was able to warn my fellow pool goers, hey, you've got 10 minutes, we've got a storm. Yeah. And then we evacuated, and went back inside. But overall, yeah, it was a nice weekend.
Yeah, things really dried up and cleared up for the nighttime at least. So that was good for a lot of people around town. Yeah,
so it was a pretty good weekend. And we're kind of stuck in the same pattern as we had through this week. We're starting out with some dry roads in Branson. It is 68 degrees out there right now, with some calm winds and the dry roads out there this morning. We've got some mostly clear skies. Things are dry and quiet to start, just warm. It is 70 degrees in Springfield, 74 in Ava, and 69 degrees in West Plains. Dew points are still in the upper 60s, so it's still a little bit of a sticky start out there this morning with things a little bit humid on that MUGGY meter. Dry roads out there today. We'll have some isolated storms possible, but most of us will be dry. You won't really find a decent amount of coverage in those storms at all. So at the pool, you'll have mostly sunny skies. You may need to dodge a storm or two with those temperatures up around 90 degrees. We're tracking isolated storm chances and some heat. Storm chances will get healthier by the end of the week, and looking ahead to next weekend already, it looks pretty hot. Details in your full forecast coming up in 10 minutes.
Over 9,000 Missouri workers in the clean energy industry have filed for unemployment due to COVID-19. 1 in 6 in the state are now out of work. The clean energy industry was growing at a quick rate before the pandemic, even faster than the total statewide employment. Michaela Preskill with Environmental Entrepreneurs says job losses in the industry are significant, but she's hopeful that the industry will get back on its legs soon.
If we are going to make the impact on climate change that our country and the state of Missouri needs to see, then we need to make sure that the clean energy workforce not just comes back, but comes back better and stronger than it was before.
Now, speaking of unemployment, Missourians claiming that are once again required to perform work search activities to receive benefits now. This includes the $600 federal supplement available through July 25th. The work search requirement was temporarily lifted because of the pandemic. It's back in place as of this morning. Individuals must complete 3 work search activities each week while drawing unemployment. Activities can include searching for work online, taking part in a Missouri Job Center workshop, or attending a job interview or job fair. Missouri Job Centers will host 2 virtual fairs scheduled for July 22nd and August 5th. Online sign-up is available to those interested. We do have some more potential COVID-19 community exposures to tell you about. Between June 29th and July 3rd, 4 COVID-19 positive individuals visited several locations in Springfield, both Sam's Club locations, a Walmart neighborhood market on South Glenstone, Kingdom Coffee, Creation, several stores in the Battlefield Mall. All these specifics and the times are listed, as always, for these cases. It's over there on ozarksfirst.com for you. In some news from around the region, the Columbia Police Department have arrested 1 person after a double homicide killed 2 people. 38-year-old Tara Nedler and 11-year-old Rejano died from their injuries after being shot. Police said there were at least 2 people who fired shots around 12:15 in the morning on Sunday. CPD Chief Jeff Jones said law enforcement officers in the area heard shots fired and saw people running from the scene.
It is important to note these deaths were not caused by fireworks. This was an incident of senseless gun violence.
Police say this shooting is still an ongoing investigation. The Kansas City police officer who was shot in the head outside of McDonald's on Thursday is still in critical condition. Police are still not identifying the officer, as they say his family is asking for privacy at the moment. Officers responded to a McDonald's on Thursday night where a suspect was waving a gun and yelling that he was Jesus. The suspect ran away and fired shots at the officers, striking one in the head. Another officer shot and killed that suspect. The University of Arkansas plans to reopen for in-person classes in the fall. Some scientists say more widespread COVID-19 testing is needed to safely bring students back to campus. Andrew Epperson this morning tells us why one student is hoping the university's plan to reopen works out.
And it was really hard because I think only 2 of my classes ended up doing like Zoom classes. The rest of them were just kind of like, you had to teach yourself.
Abby Zamardi's junior year at the University of Arkansas didn't go as planned.
Like that just doesn't work for me to learn. Like it's nice to like do face-to-face.
When the U of A shut down, Zamardi moved home to take digital classes. It might sound easy, but she says it's not.
I don't know, it was like all around, it was just really hard working from home.
Now that the state's flagship university has a plan in place to bring Zamardi back for fall classes, she's hoping it works out.
I was excited about that. I'm really excited to go back to school.
Northwest Arkansas's led the state in new coronavirus cases for a while now, and that trend isn't slowing down.
If you test, especially in a place like that where people are likely to be kind of stuck together in a place where they might be contagious with each other, maybe you could quarantine people.
Dr. Stephen Hennigan is an infectious disease expert, and he joins many in the medical community who say robust testing is a must. But he says there are still problems with bringing students back regardless.
You just can't assume somebody that's got a negative test is not going to be contagious tomorrow.
Zamardi says she's not gung-ho about the possibility of another digital semester.
I wouldn't prefer it, but I mean, if we need to do it, I definitely would do it.
But she's concerned about thousands of college students and faculty returning to a virus stronghold.
I'm not too sure what to expect, honestly. I know, I'm sure we'll have to wear masks and, stay 6 feet apart.
Still on track, though, for those in-person classes in the fall. Plenty more to come from that as things progress there with the coronavirus. Still ahead for you on Daybreak. Boeing 737 MAX is expected to start its next steps toward returning to service. We'll explain what that means when we return. Stay with us, everyone.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Jennifer Abreu, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak. And now weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa, certified by Weather8 for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
Good morning. We're starting out warm and sticky out there this morning. You've got dry roads in Branson. It is 68 degrees with some calm winds and dew points in the middle and upper 60s. 70 degrees right now at Springfield. It's 74 in Ava, 71 in Fort Leonard Wood, and 72 degrees in Rolla this morning. Dew points are in the middle and upper 60s, which is a bit sticky out there this morning. We're in the middle of the MUGGY meter where you're sticky and humid in spots. not totally oppressive this morning, but you're feeling some of that stickiness out there. You've got some mostly clear skies this morning, so dry roads if you have to head back to work this morning. You'll have some sunshine. Things are clear and quiet. You've got the bigger fronts draped just to our south and east and well up to the north and west. That's where you're finding more of the action this morning, and we are pretty quiet out there in between. But as we head through the afternoon, it's going to get hot and humid like it was over the weekend, and that could bubble up a storm or two with that focus, especially healthy to the south and east, a little bit closer to that front where more of that moisture is going to pool together to fuel some of those showers and storms. But either way, that chance is going to stay very isolated out there today. So hour by hour, you're looking at isolated showers and storms possible, otherwise mostly sunny, hot and humid with highs up around 90 degrees. Any storms that do pop will collapse by sunset because, again, they're going to be driven by the heat and humidity of the day. So once the sun goes down, you lose those fuels. You'll have some mostly clear skies tonight with overnight lows around 70 degrees. Much of the same tomorrow, maybe some isolated storms, especially to the south and east. Most of us will stay mostly sunny and dry with those highs up around 90 degrees. So we're going to keep things mostly the same through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Mostly sunny, mostly dry, maybe some isolated storms. By the end of the week, we start to get this jet stream to bend a little bit more over our area, and that will let some hiccups roll through, and that could generate some healthier storm chances by Thursday and by Friday, where more of us get in on the coverage of some showers and storms with some locally heavy rain and lightning. So here's what to expect. Some isolated storms bubble on the heat and humidity through Wednesday, but you're looking at some mostly sunny skies and highs around 90. With any storms that do pop, you'll have some locally heavy rain and lightning. You'll have an unsettled pattern with healthier storm chances return by Thursday and Friday. Then looking ahead to the weekend, you'll find that heat cranking again with highs in the lower 90s, feeling hotter than that with the humidity. Again, we're around 90 through Wednesday. You might find those temperatures getting back into the upper 80s with some healthier storm chances going into Thursday and Friday. And then you're getting hot again this weekend with highs back in the lower 90s, feeling a little bit closer to 100. 90 degrees out there today, mostly sunny with some isolated storms possible. Most of us will be dry. Muggy overnight tonight with that low at 70 degrees. 90 again tomorrow, mostly sunny with an isolated storm. Much of the same by Wednesday. Some healthier chances for some showers and storms by Thursday and Friday. Then you're mostly sunny, hot and humid by next weekend. Also take a look at those overnight lows. They stay very warm in the 70s.
Wall Street returns from a holiday weekend today. On Thursday, the Dow rose 92 points. The Nasdaq added 53. The S&P 500 was up 14. Investors have pushed stocks higher despite a rise in U.S. coronavirus cases threatening the economy. Over the weekend, mayors of some of the newest hard-hit cities in the South and West warned their hospitals are at risk of being overwhelmed. The troubled Boeing 737 MAX jet is expected to start its next step towards returning to service. According to the Wall Street Journal, the operational readiness review will take place over the next several weeks. Pilots will test the plane's flight control system. Last week, Boeing completed 3 certification flights. It's the Lamborghini of the seas, literally. The Italian automaker is coming out with a luxury yacht inspired by one of its supercars. The Lamborghini 63 is expected to fetch about $3.5 million, slightly less than the car it's based on. The super yacht tops out at about 70 miles per hour. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. I'm Naomi Ruckham.
Sports is up next for you. Baseball season is officially less than 3 weeks away. We'll see what's happening over at the Cardinals Training Camp 2.0 when we return. Stay with us, everyone.
Now, sports on Color 10 News.
The Cardinals continued summer camp this holiday weekend, and at Busch Stadium, a couple of big namers trying their hand at live BP. It's a sight that's been familiar since 2006. Adam Wainwright on the mound, throwing to Yadi Molina. He pitched 4 innings on Sunday. Waino was big for the Cardinals last year, recording 153 strikeouts and 14 wins. Now he's looking toward his 15th season in the majors, and he's enjoying the progress that he's made so far.
Kind of building there, kind of keeping it there. I mean, I know I'm going to have a few more starts here before the season kicks off, so I feel like that's a great jumping off point. You know, it's always different. Even today, I mean, I've been facing this kind of the same amount of, you know, same kind of hitters, big quality, big league hitters, and DeYoung and Colton and Tommy Edmonds. You know, when you put the pants on and the uniform, it's just a little bit different. It's a little hotter out there today. It's really good to get these kind of game-like conditions under our belt before we start.
However, another member of the Cardinals has tested positive for the coronavirus, third baseman Eliuris Montero. You may recall that name. He played 59 games with the Cardinals in Springfield last season. He hit 7 homers with 18 RBIs in that time. He also racked up an impressive fielding percentage of .930. The Cardinals announced the positive test and say Montero is asymptomatic and currently self-isolating. One of the first true sports bubbles is going on right now in Columbus, Ohio. The basketball tournament pieces together former college stars and those that haven't quite got a crack at the NBA for one massive bracket play style event. Worth noting for this year, a former Missouri State Bear is getting in on this. Lamont West is playing on the team Men of MUGGY, a predominantly Purdue alumni squad. West's mom played for Purdue during her days. West picked up 5 points in his debut over the weekend and also got 3 boards. And most importantly, they got the win. Men of MUGGY will play again on Tuesday. The winning team of this tournament gets a $1 million cash prize to be split amongst everyone on the team. Not too bad of a take-home, Elisa Raffa, for winning a few games, right?
That is awesome. Congrats to them. I hope they keep charging forward.
Next game on Tuesday.
Okay. We're starting out dry, warm, and sticky out there this morning. It is 68 degrees with some clouds and some dry roads. We've got some mostly clear skies, so if you do have to get up and get out to work, you'll have some smooth sailing. It is 70 degrees in Springfield, 74 in Ava, and 72 degrees in Rolla. Dew points in the upper 60s, so we're a little bit humid on that MUGGY meter map this morning with some oranges showing pretty prominent. Hot or not, it will be hot again today. You'll probably need that AC to crank on moderate or high because you're looking at highs up near 90 and overnight lows in the 70s, so really no relief from the heat. So that means as you take your ice cream cone out, you'll have some decent melting. 90 degrees today with an isolated storm, and you probably need to eat your ice cream pretty quick. So hour by hour, you're looking at some isolated storms possible today, especially to the south and east. 90 degrees for that high. Any storms that pop will collapse by sunset because they'll really be driven by the heat and humidity of the day. So MUGGY overnight lows around 70 and dry. Much of the same tomorrow. Isolated storms with those highs up around 90. So if you need to mow the lawn, you're looking at some mostly dry conditions today and tomorrow. The storm chances will stay pretty isolated. By Thursday, though, you might not be able to mow the lawn because you're looking at increased coverage of showers and storms. So for your fishing forecast, you'll have the most dry days today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. It'll be hot, maybe an isolated storm, so make sure you still stay weather aware on your boat. Increased coverage of some showers and storms by Thursday and Friday. Temperatures more or less stay hot. You're around 90 degrees through Wednesday. You might have temperatures in the upper 80s with increased cloud cover and storm coverage on Thursday and Friday. Then a look ahead at next weekend looks hot again with highs in the lower 90s, likely feeling a little bit closer to 100. Here's your 7-day forecast. Much of the same Monday through Wednesday. Sunshine and isolated storm chances just fueling off of that heat and humidity. Healthier storm chances Thursday and Friday with some little hiccups rolling through. Then you're mostly sunny, hot, and humid by next weekend with highs back in the lower 90s.
All right, still to come, Florida is continuing to see a very big surge in coronavirus cases each day. We'll tell you which states are nearing capacity with their hospitals and more when we return. Welcome back, everyone. 5:24 this Monday morning. More than 129,000 Americans have died from the coronavirus, and some states are seeing a record number of new cases and hospitalizations. Many were encouraged to celebrate safely this holiday weekend, but that was not always the case. Nancy Chen has our story from New York today.
The mayors of two of the biggest cities in Texas fear their hospitals are about to be overwhelmed.
The number of people who are getting sick and going to the hospitals has exponentially increased.
If we don't change the trajectory, then I am within 2 weeks of having our hospitals overrun.
Texas is one of a handful of states seeing a record number of hospitalizations due to the coronavirus.
Medically, we are improving, but we just have so much infection around this country. We're going to see, unfortunately, a lot of lethality.
Capacity is also nearing its limit in Arizona. Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego says FEMA declined to bring more testing to the area.
We were told they're moving away from that, which feels like they're declaring victory while we're still in crisis mode.
Florida is reporting nearly as many new cases each day as New York did during its April peak.
We're only as strong as our weakest link right now.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy says residents coming back from hotspots are bringing the virus with them.
We cannot afford to go through hell again. We need a national strategy, I think, right now.
Over the holiday weekend, many tried to maintain social distancing. But this video of a lake party in Michigan shows some didn't bother.
We decided we're done with it.
Washington Nationals pitcher Sean Doolittle says sports are the reward of a functional society.
If there aren't sports, it's going to be because people are not wearing masks because the response to this has been so politicized.
Major League Baseball is scheduled to begin July 23rd. Nancy Chen, CBS News.
Now, Doolittle hasn't said whether or not he'll opt out of this season as it starts. He says much of his decision hinges on the toll the virus takes on his mental health. He's also concerned because his wife has a chronic lung condition. Stay with us. Plenty ahead this morning. A massive blood shortage is still going on in the Ozarks. Why one doctor is urging previous COVID-19 patients to donate plasma and more. Stay with us. Good morning, everyone. Welcome on back to Daybreak on this Monday, July 6th. I'm Joe Morano. Jennifer Abreu has the Monday off. Hopefully, some of you at home able to take the Monday off, too. It's been a nice holiday weekend for everyone. Hopefully, everyone was safe as they celebrated America's Independence Day. Meteorologist Elisa Raffel was here, too. You were checking a lot of the weather on Saturday for some people, right?
Yeah, I was sitting at the pool, and I start to hear some thunder, and I'm like, oops, when thunder roars, go indoors. So I look at the radar, I'm like, ooh, storm nearby. And there was a bunch of people at the pool, you know, distance and enjoying, and I told them, I was like, hey, guys, heads up. You've got about 10 minutes to get out of the pool and get your stuff before everything gets soaked. And sure enough, get inside, boom.
It was about the middle of the afternoon, right? Because there was a bit of a downpour. If you were in the Springfield area, you noticed that for sure.
Yeah, but it was cool because I got to do my civic duty, right? Let people know, hey, you're about to get soaked. Watch out for lightning.
Just working on the weekend at the pool, right?
Yeah, and everybody cleared the pool as well. So this morning we're starting out with some dry roads. It is 68 degrees in Branson. We've got some cloud cover and dew points that are pretty sticky. You've got some dry conditions this morning. It's mostly clear. You've got that sunshine. It's 70 degrees in Monette, 70 degrees in Springfield, and 72 degrees in Rolla. Dew points are in the upper 60s, so things are sticky again out there this morning. Some oranges on that MUGGY meter show that it is pretty humid. You'll have some dry roads out there today because storms will stay pretty isolated. So most roads will be dry. You'll be mostly sunny out on the patio, just hot. Make sure you've got lots of water. You'll have temperatures up near 90 with the sunshine. An isolated storm or two possible today, and it stays pretty hot. Healthier storm chances return by the end of the week. Plus, it looks like the heat cranks again already by next weekend. Details on all of that coming up in 10 minutes. Joe?
A city in Arkansas is already taking steps to decide if it will adopt Governor Asa Hutchinson's recent executive order, which allows cities across the state to enact mask mandates. Alexis Wainwright has the details for us today.
I think this is a good model ordinance to take it a step further.
Ahead of the holiday, Governor Asa Hutchinson signed an executive order allowing Arkansas cities to decide if they would like to make wearing masks a requirement.
Once we heard about the governor's announcement, we immediately got together, put our heads together, took a look at the model ordinance.
Bobby Kelly with the city of Conway says the mayor's office started sharing ideas with city council members, attorneys, and with the medical and business community. They plan to discuss this further.
Meet as early as Monday to discuss the ordinance to see if it's applicable and if it works best for Conway.
This happening as the natural state continues to see a surge in cases. Under Hutchinson's order, local law enforcement and city officials would act in a support capacity to educate and encourage people to wear masks.
I think it's important to discuss it. I mean, public safety has been number one, and we've got a former fire chief as our mayor. Public safety has always been a priority. He's always stressing personal responsibility.
Despite the model, there is still a few questions, like how to enforce. The local ordinance would not include penalties for not complying, leaving city leaders to make decisions.
In the ordinance, as far as what they told me, that it talks about enforceability, but that's a great question, and that'll be a good question for our city council members.
Alexis Wainwright reporting there. City leaders hope to meet as early as today to vote on adopting this ordinance. Residents with strong opinions on the topic are asked to contact council members. You may have heard of blood plasma donations in order to help fight the coronavirus. Convalescent plasma is a blood transfusion procedure where healthcare providers administer plasma donated from recovered COVID-19 patients to help treat those currently battling it. Community Blood Center of the Ozarks in Springdale is the only local plasma center that actually keeps those donations in Northwest Arkansas. If you've heard of places that pay for plasma, your donation doesn't stay local. It likely just goes to various pharmaceutical companies.
What's happened is demand has increased, our supply of plasma is dwindling, and so we're kind of in a crunch here.
Dr. Stephen Hennigan, he believes plasma donations have worked well and that they are a great way to help those suffering. In some more local news, but sticking with blood donations, a critical shortage is continuing throughout the Ozarks with more than 8,000 donations lost since the pandemic began in March. CBCO hopes its 16th annual Bleed Red blood drive will help build back up its reserves. All donors this week will get 2 tickets to a 2021 Springfield Cardinals game, along with a shirt and plenty other giveaways there. Chris Pilgrim says the Bleed Red drive is one of the largest blood drives it hosts all year.
Our Bleed Red blood drive is the most popular blood drive that we have, and we see the most people. Now, it's changed a little bit this year. Instead of a 2-day event, we're going an entire week so we can maintain social distancing.
The drive kicks off today and goes through Friday. CBCO strongly encourages you to make an appointment if you plan to give this week. You can do that online at cbco.org/bleedred or find this story on ozarksfirst.com. One assistant scoutmaster for Boy Scouts of America has decided to not let COVID-19 keep some scouts from earning their badges. He moved part of the program online so that some scouts who might have also been on a deadline could still earn badges during the pandemic. They awarded 15 Eagle badges, and scouts earned over 331 badges total. Sean Davidson, the Activities and Civics Chair for the Blazing Trails, says it's important that scouts be able to adapt and be flexible.
Trying to evolve the scouts from the early days of hiking, being prepared, to today of being prepared and working with what you have. One of my biggest things that I try to tell my scouts is that being prepared tells you to adapt and overcome any situation that is given to you.
We've also got word from the Girl Scouts. The Girl Scouts of the Missouri Heartland have canceled all in-person summer camps for the year and are offering virtual summer camps instead. The online sessions began yesterday. There are options like animal adventures, engineering for good, STEM shenanigans, and outdoor skills. These summer programs are available to all Girl Scouts, from kindergartners to high school seniors. Everyone who attends an online camp will earn a S'more Fun patch, too.
That sounds like fun. We're starting out with some dry roads in Springfield, just a few clouds, but things are quiet and muggy. To start at the pool today, you're looking at lots of sunshine, a high of 90 degrees with some isolated storms possible. Your full forecast is coming up right after the break.
And now weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa, certified by Weather8 for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
Good morning. We are starting out with just a few clouds in Branson. It is dry, warm, and sticky. 68 degrees out there right now with some calm winds. That temperature is at 70 degrees right now in Springfield. It's 74 degrees in Ava, 72 in Rolla, and 69 degrees in West Plains. We've got those dew points in the middle and upper 60s, so it's pretty sticky out there to start this morning. You're in the middle of that muggy meter where it's a little bit sticky and humid out there this morning. You're dry to start. You've got mostly clear skies, so sunshine if you do have to head out this morning, getting back to work. The more active patterns are up to the north and west, up near the Dakotas and into Minnesota, and then just 2 hours south and east. We're in the middle and we're pretty dry, and we stay pretty dry through the next few days. We will have some isolated storms, though, bubble up on the heat and humidity of the day like we had over the weekend. And the focus for that will be especially healthy to the south and east, where more of this moisture will pool because that front is right there. So hour by hour, you're looking at some isolated storms possible today, otherwise mostly sunny with that high up around 90 degrees. Any storms that do pop will be fueled by the heat and humidity of the day. So once the sun sets, the storms collapse and you're looking at dry conditions overnight with that overnight low around 70 degrees. By tomorrow, much of the same, an isolated storm or two, temperatures up around 90 degrees, mostly sunny, hot and sticky. Now this is going to be the pattern through about Wednesday. We'll keep things mostly dry, mostly sunny, with just some isolated storms fueled by heat and humidity. As you get towards Thursday and Friday, the jet stream starts to bend and sit over the Ozarks a little bit. And that will bring in these little hiccups or these little storm triggers into the area, which would bring some healthier chances for showers and storms with more clouds and increased coverage by the end of the week. So here's what to expect. Isolated storms would bubble on the heat and humidity through Wednesday, but they'll stay pretty isolated. Locally heavy rain and lightning would be threats. An unsettled pattern with some healthier storm chances returns by Thursday and Friday, and then the heat's going to crank again by the weekend, where you'll have temperatures back in the lower 90s. So staying pretty hot with highs around 90 through Wednesday. You'll find highs in the upper 80s by Thursday and Friday with increased cloud cover and storm coverage. Then you're looking at highs back in the lower 90s by the weekend. 90 degrees today, mostly sunny, hot and sticky with an isolated storm possible. 70 degrees overnight tonight, warm and muggy. 90 tomorrow, maybe an isolated storm or two, but again, most of us stay dry. Much of the same by Wednesday, sunshine, highs in the lower 90s. And that storm will be fueled on the heat and humidity of the day. You'll have some healthier storm chances by Thursday and Friday. Heat and humidity continue to crank by Saturday and Sunday.
The reopening process is still happening throughout the country, but concern about the spread of COVID-19 is growing on the streets. We'll take a look at how the nation's homeless are trying to stay safe when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Broadway actor Nick Cordero has died after his 95-day fight with COVID-19. He was 41 years old. His wife posted on Instagram this weekend that he passed surrounded and loved by his family yesterday. Cordero faced severe complications from the virus that forced the amputation of his leg He was nominated for a Tony Award for his work in Bullets Over Broadway in 2014 and was also known for his acting in the Broadway production of Waitress. We are still learning more about this disease and the dangers of doing something as simple as talking or sneezing. A group of health experts warns that even tiny droplets from your mouth or nose can linger in the air and penetrate more deeply into your lungs. 239 scientists from around the world are planning to publish an open letter today to the World Health Organization and other health agencies, asking them to be more forthright in explaining how the virus can transmit in the air. More than 500,000 Americans experience homelessness, according to the government's count, and they faced a new set of challenges when this pandemic began. Elise Preston looks at what some communities are doing to help and introduces us to one New Yorker who had no home to go to when the city told everyone to stay in.
While most New Yorkers are just now venturing out into the city, Lala Moreno has been sleeping on the streets for months during the coronavirus pandemic, living with a compromised immune system.
I'm scared that one moment something bad can happen to my immune system and I could just crash.
But Moreno still feels safer spending the night on this tiny stretch of a sidewalk than in a dormitory-style shelter. The advocacy group Coalition for the Homeless says the coronavirus death rate for New Yorkers in shelters is 61% higher compared to New Yorkers with homes. The organization also says unsheltered homeless may face an even greater risk of dying, and many groups that provide help are temporarily shut down or are not able to operate normally.
Doctors Without Borders teamed up with the Salvation Army here in New York City to offer showers to those in need. Organizations across the country are getting creative in an effort to safely provide resources like showers, meals, and places for people to sleep during the pandemic.
A few people have told me that this was the first shower they had in like 2 or 3 weeks.
That's both heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time.
Yeah, it feels good to be able to provide it, but really we shouldn't have gotten there.
Officials in New York, Houston, and Los Angeles secured hotel rooms for some homeless residents. San Francisco has designated safe sleeping sites, open-air encampments that encourage social distancing. And in Atlanta, Georgia, the Lost and Found Youth Shelter added extra staff to keep the facility sanitized. The shelter, like many across the country, spaced out beds to keep people as far away from each other as possible.
We're allowing everybody to stay and not asking anybody to leave unless they get into another more long-term program or find a permanent place to stay.
Back under this New York City scaffolding,
I'm still alive, I'm still breathing.
In some other news from around America for you, officials believe 8 people are dead after 2 planes collided in Idaho yesterday. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office says first responders recovered 2 of the bodies, but the aircraft sank before they could find the other 6. Multiple children are among those that died. A large group of protesters took down a statue of Christopher Columbus and threw it into a harbor during a demonstration Saturday night in Baltimore. The person who took this video that you're seeing says there were at least 300 people in attendance. The protest reportedly started in downtown Baltimore before the crowd marched to the site of that statue and tore it down. Construction of a natural gas pipeline that was supposed to span 3 states is off for now. Dominion Energy and Duke Energy say they're canceling the Atlantic Coastline Pipeline project, which was supposed to stretch across West Virginia, and North Carolina. Environmentalists sued to stop it. The companies actually won a victory from the Supreme Court, but they say the project no longer makes sense economically. And some news around the world for you, with cases spiking in Australia's Victoria State and Melbourne in particular. Officials will be closing the border between Victoria and New South Wales starting tomorrow. That effectively cuts Victoria off from the rest of the country. 127 new cases were reported there yesterday, and officials have locked down several public housing towers, not allowing residents to leave.
Good morning. It's just about 5:50. We're checking your weather on the 10s here on Color 10. Dry roads in Branson this morning with some sunshine and a warm temperature at 68 degrees to start. We are mostly clear and dry, so you'll have sunshine if you do have to head out the door this morning. It's 70 degrees in Springfield, 72 degrees in Rolla, and 69 degrees in West Plains. With dew points in the middle and upper 60s, that tells us that it's a little bit humid out there this morning. Oranges on that MUGGY meter map show us that it is uncomfortable. So as you wag and walk today, this is Rex loving his Frisbee. You'll have sunshine, just hot and humid. Make sure you and the pup are hydrated. Temperatures up around 90 degrees. You could have an isolated storm or two as you fire up the grill. You just have to keep an eye out for that. We'll have temperatures up near 90 and it stays pretty muggy as we head through the evening. So hour by hour, some isolated storms could be fueled off of the heat and humidity of the day. Highs around 90 degrees. Any storms that do pop will collapse once the sun sets because they will be fueled by the sunshine. 70 degrees for that overnight low, and then much of the same tomorrow. Some isolated storms possible with those highs up around 90. So mostly dry today and tomorrow if you need to mow the lawn. Good days to do that. Just take breaks from the heat. Much of the same through Wednesday. Healthier storm chances return by Thursday. You'll have some scattered showers and storms possible Thursday and Friday. So out on the lakes, you'll have just that isolated storm chance to contend with through Wednesday. Healthier storm chances mean more clouds and better coverage of rain through Thursday and Friday out on those boats. Temperatures stay pretty hot through the week, around 90 through Wednesday. You might have temperatures in the upper 80s Thursday and Friday with more clouds and storms. And then you're hot again as we head into next weekend. Here's your 7 days sunshine and isolated storm chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Scattered showers and storms possible Thursday and Friday. The heat starts to crank next weekend. Highs back in the lower 90s will likely feel closer to 100. Joe?
Charlize Theron is immortal in a new action thriller, and country star Garth Brooks is back with more music. We have the details as Nichelle Medina brings us our Eye on Entertainment.